Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 24th of August. Okay, looking at news today, there are no news events. I'll bring this just in, there you go. Absolutely no news events, unless you come down to the very light sort of stuff. I'll apply that filter and you'll see some very low key news events. None of these will generally create any volatility in the markets at all at the moment. So such things as new home sales, that used to be a big one years ago that we used to look for, but not anymore. So nothing of any significance there. We're left down to the purely on the technicals today. So let's get on and look at those technicals. Starting off with euro dollar. Now the euro has put a bit of a turn in here. I've got a trend line drawn on the dailies here across the highs. It's looking well. It's broken the trend lines. Each trend line I've drawn here is broken with the high lows, higher highs. It's got a bit of a bull flag at this stage. It's trying to get up there. A break of the daily pivot would be a bit more bearish to me at the moment, but it's walked out sidewards of this current trend line to the upside, so I'm not taking too much notice of that, and it's through the Asian session, but we'll just need to watch this. I do wonder if these markets, if we will see leading into Thursday, Friday, Jackson Hole Summit, whether we will see the dollar sold a little bit more, but we'll just have to wait and see how it shapes up technically. But it's sort of flaggy pattern. It looks clearer on a 4-hourly than an hourly. In fact, it looks a little bit messy on an hourly here, but it may still push up there. It's still the pattern of a bit of a flag sort of kicking in there, and as I'm just talking here, running into 8 o'clock, it's just getting a little bit of a push at the moment, but patience needed here. It was a very slow move yesterday. Okay, that's the euro. The pound, I'll come back to the euro. Look across a few pairs there you might find interesting today, but the pound's been a bit more sluggish in its move here. Again, it's sort of done this swing sort of move across the lows, and again high lows, high highs, run into its 4-hourly 50, or air kiss the 4-hourly 50. It's been into that so many times before. Question is, can it get a further kicker? You see a much neater flag pattern actually running across here, which it's pushed above at the moment, and at this stage it looks like, well, further upside potential there. In terms of getting into some of these trades, I'm not quite clear in terms of how I'd get into the euro or the pound at the moment. Normally you get them into the retraces, where the retraces arguably have happened. Break of the trend lines, where that they've gone. So it, as I say, maybe a patience game today. Dollar yen's been a difficult one. It's not really a day trading currency for me at the moment. It's really gone a bit messy, as you can see from here, from the daily chart here, very messy, and you're trying to make some sense of it yesterday. Well, just having to push out the trend lines a little bit more. They get pierced, and then the price comes back within. So we're in this very much in this wedge here, the 110 area. You just got to be wary of. It's providing resistance at this stage, but again, the thing with the yen, it's been the dollar yen has been bought as we've even when the dollar's being sold elsewhere, as well the yen itself is being sold as it's sort of risked back on. So awkward one there, and I'll just leave it alone. Again, Aussie dollar got this sort of swing approach at the bottom here, pushing up at the moment. It's looking, we've seen the commodity currencies pushing up a lot better the last couple of days, and it's certainly pushing up at this stage, pushed through the Asian session, high lows, a nice clean sort of flaggy pattern there, and it's pushed up. So very much similar to the pound, and well, again, it's getting into some of these things. There are divergences around the highs, or there have been divergences around the highs. They've now worn off, but a patience game sitting there for me. Cad Canadian dollar again swinging to the downside there, shooting star, just sort of following through. It does look like it's got further downside potential here, and quite a strong move as we're pushing down. Has gone a bit from pillar to post here. It's got from this sort of extremely sort of area on the RSI up the highs here, and it's gone almost extreme to the lows. But at this stage, it still looks like it's got further downside. Coming down the time frames for again, just sort of flat along the 60-minute 200, broken down again, soft. So getting into the position, well, there may be opportunities of continuation positions to get into these, but again, quite difficult, and they're already sort of moved such a way. Just looking across a couple of the euro pairs, actually, I'm going to come to the Eurocad. Well, unfortunately, this has actually gone. I'm just looking at it on the 60-minute. I was looking at it 4 hourly actually a short while ago, and just looking at some of these, and they have had. I mean, the euro has had a bit of a hard time of things. I was looking at this yesterday. Someone was looking to go long on it, but lower highs, lower lows running through here, and well, it's consolidating at the moment, the Euro Aussie, and that too could slide off some more yet. So just looking at those pairings. Otherwise, it's as I say, game of patience out there. Pound yen this morning, that's already gone. A nice flag pattern earlier on. That's pushed much far too early for me to be running into it. May still have some more legs in these, but again, patience. So patience game today. Let's have a look. Actually, let's have a look at gold first. Just going to run. Gold had a decent day yesterday. It's the most solid day had. I mentioned this flag, and I sort of ignored the fact that generally it sells at this time of year, and well, the flag sort of prevailed and off price went. It's been sitting here for quite some time. It's consolidating again though. We saw all this consolidation over last week. It's pushed through the 200, become a bit more bullish, but consolidating again. It breaks that sort of 1806 area. Well, maybe we got to yet again further upside. Now this largely went over a couple of hours here, so just be patient. It seems to be an afternoon move. To other commodities, let's just have a look at oil. So oil had a bit of a turnaround yesterday. We saw the start of it yesterday morning, and it's been pushing up there. A bit of divergence kicking around where the price is on the 4 hours at the moment. Drawing trend lines across, it must be pretty much into the trend line or slightly through it, but it's consolidating around the highs here, and yep, there's divergences running across those highs as well. Hasn't yet dropped off too far. Now break above that 200, back above that 66.27 area. Well, could see further upside. So again, looking bullish at the moment, a bit more bullish at the moment. Right, let's bring in. Sorry, I have to turn to different charts here because I don't have the feeds on my e-signal. So let's look at Bitcoin. Yesterday, well, it held its own yesterday. It's pushing on there through 50,000. Pulled back a little, closed back a little bit there, but it's just consolidating around where it is over the weekend, looking quite bullish to me at the moment, and I think we've probably got further upside the more that we see this sort of the overall dollar weakness. Well, chances are we'll see these cryptos pushing up there. Ethereum, my favourite of the currencies here, also similar picture. Again, pushing up this morning. I just think it's got a potential at this stage for a continuation. Ripple, the lawsuit holds it back in what we're really seeing here at this stage, just consolidating. So there we are. That's with those. To say Ethereum, I still think it's got some decent potential there to get back towards the highs, as potentially has Bitcoin. It really is starting to get a bit of a shove on there. Just bring this into play a little bit more. Is getting a shove on back towards its 58.60 sort of the levels. Okay, That's that. Let's have a look at the equity indices. Just run through the indices. So once again, through the Asian session there, Hong Kong's CSI 300 there, it's shoved up yet again, pushing up some more. Bigger picture of this, I still think it may be to the downside, but I mean, we're just seeing some equity strength coming through these markets at the moment. FTSE's open now. That's also pushing up. It never really held quite so well onto its gains. It held onto part of its gains yesterday there, but it looked at, when I was doing the outlook in the morning, that it might have had a bit more of a push towards its highs there, but slipped back a little bit. DAX also just sort of pulled back later towards the afternoon, but at the moment still pushing up here at the moment. So the equity markets looking reasonably good there. S&Ps, well, they of course into new high territory, off they go again, and it seems like a common picture and a common story here. I'm just saying, every time it retraces, watch out, it'll go back up and make a new high. For now at least, Jackson Hole is a key thing here, maybe the turner. I'm seeing big money coming out of the S&Ps a little bit more when I'm looking at my longer term analysis, looking at the COT reports, seeing money coming away. So the big money may not have such confidence in these moves, but for now they certainly are pushing up. Nasdaq well and truly making new highs there, pushing through yesterday, and the futures up this morning, and the laggard really hit at the moment is the Dow Jones. So there we go. Oh, can we have a look at the pound? Okay, euro pound, of course we can. Euro pound gets into such a chop a lot of the time, but let's just have a look at the euro pound at the moment. Euros, so bearish engulfing bar yesterday. It's really turned around a little bit there. The pound just regaining some of the original the bigger trend on the euro pound has been gradually down. It's run into its weekly 21 on here, on my charts here. Now I say on my charts here because we do get variables. Now it's broken through its weekly pivot. It's sort of erring more on the slightly bearish side here. I'm just looking at what's going on. It does look a tad on the softer side here at this stage. So there's my opinion. It's easing back a bit as we're seeing. The euro isn't as well. When you look at it, it's stronger against the dollar, but as soon as you start looking at it against the CAD, you see how much the euro's come off, the Aussie dollar, how much it's come back off here. So the euro is sort of holding the New Zealand dollar. There we go. It's pulling off. You can see euro as a whole, it's hanging up, it's hanging there against the US dollar. It's not doing quite so well against the other majors at the moment. The other major is doing okay against his euro yen this morning. It's pushing up there, but it's a bit of a struggle, and even that may roll back a little bit. So yeah, yeah, that looks nasty. It doesn't look good if you're looking for the upside. Depends what you're obviously trying to do with it. But so the euro pound there. So the euro, as I say, when you look at it against the dollar, oh, it's looking okay, but it's looking soft elsewhere. Now this might be. It's not quite a divergence here. I don't know if the MACD is showing anything different. No, there's no divergence here at the moment, but we might sort of just get, just looking at this sort of short retracement here, maybe it has got some more legs in sort of from this 34 moving average area, and maybe it's got a little bit more going in for it. I'm just looking at the pound at the moment, and this is very much live. I'm just looking at the pound on the 60-minute, and the pound's just sort of rolled into, well, I mentioned it earlier, rolled into that 4-hourly 50, just rolling back a little bit at the moment. So looking a tad soft here, and there's certainly some divergence between those highs. So the pound itself is weakened against the US dollar. Maybe it'll weaken across the board a little bit more there. Right, I'm going to call it a day here. I wish you a great day's trading, and I think, as I say, I think it might be a bit of patience. I mean, some of these, even this Just looking at this pound, actually the daily pivot's untouched below. If it carries on in this route, maybe it's got a target down there at 36, 89, 90 area, so got some potential. Right, have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.